When we want something, we have to reckon with probabilities, watching for repetitions, observing rocks causing ripples in the stream of consciousness, occurring over sand and submerged things in the shallows, where our best hope of finding what we want lies, to tell the truth, where we care the least, hear world, see whirl, while saying who we are, hardly worth mentioning, say Chicken Licken seizes power, if not legally, then at least to the degree that her fear obliges her friends. Passerby, are they pleased by it? Farmer, are they doing all their tasks as required? Turkey lurkey, run Goosey Lucy. Froggy Boggy, are you sad? Don't be sad. Why are you sad? Toady Roady, jump Snaky Shaky. Sluggy Buggy, keep it. I practiced this today, so this is serious. Sluggy Wuggy keeps her cool beneath the long leaves of the irises growing along the edge of the path. Deco Flecko with ready tongue basks in warm gray sand, listening for bugs suddenly. As an incoming missile explodes, the gray horse, Shadow, the brown horse, Duke, the black horse, Prince, and the sorrel horse, Rondo, in terror stampede blindly. Run, Bunny Money, shouts Piggy Jiggy. Run, Sheepy Sleepy, weeps Goaty Throaty. Because sorrow and anger are very much the same as animals when we are misled at a frantic pace into a completely impossible, implausible situation. I am not fatalistic. I recognize addition, and in addition, I recognize things as different from one moment to the next in no fixed sequence as a peanut from a plummet of the sun. I cannot help but go out. A stream of particulars, a stream of abstractions, and wicked geese. The wicked geese hoot, their feet caught in the ice. A fisherman blows his nose into his palm. A sugar beet floats in a dented pot. For the third time in a month, we've called the fireman. He arrives with a yellow flashlight. Surreptitiously, I lean against the fireman, then step aside. I will think about this later, afterwards. The thought will be long. It will wind through 10 events. An event is something that has some social or ethical quality, forms a narrative of compelling interest, and exhibits awakening subtleties. A philharmonic group of girls spins around a pole. This is probably a show of nerves. A line of ants crawls along the crumbling edge of newly spread black macadam in the playground. That's the whole picture. There, so it is, there, just that. In time I've loved, there. No other but one, and other, no other, there. Better by day, by night, that too, carrying the body, the flamboyance, brain, there. A falling equestrian, dressed in silk, and sailing sense, this, there, when declared near, just that. In a moment, dear, there. No further but an extra, nothing new, rare, recovered once by dark that halls, again, there, air, rope, cups, there, a dwindling likeness scent and bared, seafaring sense, this. At the merest hint, taken racing ahead to a figure aboard, an annoying foible, there, as if to distribute pink or red, equally black, to the rescue, at a rocks place, there. For a figure moving lips the wrong way, weight tipping, impending, the whole meditation, waiting, there. Let's speak of the unconscious, and do so consciously. We've all got our nocturnal strictures, our fears. Wheels of green like radiant gravestones lean on my field of vision. Those fears want to be intelligible. Those wheels are seeking names. They imagine things. There are sheets of water no deeper than a shadow, beetles in a jug of milk, a clotted spider web, a mountain approaching by boat. Everything I think is wheeled by my thinking it. I watch the wobbling horizon from my unpremeditated circle. Words are a way to keep, and to keep rolling. The purple night, the building clouds, the point of time. How should I interrupt the building clouds? Dreams surround intelligibility. The will digresses. It maintains its stupendous solitude, its cumulative inaction. Perhaps my dear family can profit from my story. As it continues, two pickpockets are denying a robust policeman's suggestion that they are suspiciously encumbered. If encumbered, they insist, they would resemble kids with a lot to say. They would resemble unwanted sympathy. They would not be like holes in a hallway. There was once a boy, and he had a younger brother who was mournful. The older boy put a silver saddle on his horse one day, and mounting the horse, turned to the younger and said, "Sam, you've won." A thief hidden behind a tree nearby overheard this and said to himself, "By tomorrow at this time it will be I who have won." But he was mistaken, as mournfulness cannot be acquired in a day. There was once a poor man who was hungry all the time. "How dare you, how dare you," he shouted out the window to people hurrying to the shops on the street below. But experience of disappointment cannot be taught, and the people were deaf to his queries then, just as they are now. There was once a sailor who had so many nicknames he no longer remembered what it was he should be properly called. He sat in the dark and gazed at the sea until his eyes ached, and he wondered why the sea, which resembled an eye, never gazed back at him. But heroic efforts often fail, because emotion is often a poor teacher. There was once a princess who longed to be a cowboy, but by virtue of her sex, she was kept in the house without any shoes. "I'm no more dangerous than a mouse," she said one morning to the miller, who simply pointed to the baited mouse traps with which he protected the flour produced in his mill. Yes, restlessness is a characteristic of human existence, and neither travel nor rapacity can exhaust it. There was once an astronomer who earned his living by promising glory to the king. On weekends, he sat quietly with his daughter doing math. Efficiency, he told her, is best served by contemplation. Now that was an excellent astronomer, and he is admired in pedagogical circles even today as a man who prepared for every lesson in advance. There was once a doctor who had a kind heart and long fingers, and he lived by himself in a room over a bakery. "Everyone likes you plump and warm," the doctor would say to each of his patients, which was just what he heard the baker saying to his muffins as he took them from their tins. And so we see that to a reader, in communication with a writer, more and more information is made available. That doctor was a rogue. Moral 1. We are never the worse for our dreams, and a nightmare should not always be taken as a sign of bad conscience. Moral 2. Serenity can be achieved through fussiness, although probably only for the fussy. Moral 3. True justice is never abstract and should therefore not be blindfolded. That's what we can learn from these tales and from other tales too.